Welcome to the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast, your home for all things football at Waldorf University, the best small college football experience in America. Hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson, from the secret bunker beneath Bullsdorf Field. Welcome to this episode of the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast. I am not Andy Buffington. I am Troy Thompson, but I'm not alone. No, I am here with head coach Tyler Chapa. Hey, Coach.
Love being in the bunker.
Oh, it's good to have you here.
I know. I feel like I haven't been here in a while.
It's a little odd to have just you and me and not Andy. Andy's not here. He could be here yesterday, but you couldn't be, and so we were recording. I was like, well, I guess I'll take Coach.
Yeah, he's the real talent. Andy's the real talent.
He does all the research and stuff, so now I'm going to have to just ask questions and rely on your insights, which are always good. Did you happen to catch the last couple of episodes?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. They're good episodes. What do you think about those guys?
I thought they're great guys.
Yeah.
I love our Waldorf program, so they don't, have much shine in comparison with that. But as personalities go and
they're good folks.
People, they're just great. Yeah, Coach Micheletti did a great job last week. That was a fun conversation with him. I can't believe he started that. He started that program.
Yeah, he did. And he comes from a very good program.
Yeah,
at Kansas Wesleyan when he was a part of that whole deal.
Yeah.
Oh, He's got a lot of really good experiences, and then obviously I got a personal relationship with Coach Franz, and I was talking to him this week about the episode. He actually really enjoyed that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Good. He sounded like he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a good interview and lots of good coaching advice. They both had good coaching advice, and of course Franz has been around quite a while, and he called him the grandpa of I think he meant Godfather.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure, and I was born in 94.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he graduated college in 96.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. So there's a little bit of an age gap.
Yeah, a little bit there. And Micheletti, I think, is he's a little older than you, but not much.
And he's got a lot of good energy.
Yeah.
It was good to connect with him. Before the games, I was able to have conversations.
Yeah.
And him and I kept in touch through the season, and then saw him at the convention. He's got a lot of good ideas for our conference, and as far as standings and how the ratings go, so we can get more teams in the playoffs and that kind of thing too.
Yeah, yeah. I had some ideas for him. He could maybe get some money from those felons across the street.
Yeah,
that
was a crazy setup.
That was
crazy setup. They got a nice field, but that was our kids were like, what? Where are we?
What is this? Yeah. Well, it was good to talk to those guys. Taking a little bit of a break in between our coaching interviews. Still waiting for some of the coaches to reply.
Yeah, I should send them letters, handwritten letters.
Yeah. So, but there's a great time for us to jump in and touch base with you about where we're at with recruiting. Talk a little bit about the schedule. I don't know if I don't think it's on the website yet.
It's not. It's. But
we can talk about it.
It's official.
Yeah. And whatever else crosses our mind. I had something else too, but let's talk first of all about spring ball. That's what we're going to talk about.
And we got some staff changes.
Yeah. Oh, let's start there.
That's why I've been busy here.
Yeah.
So we obviously offensive line coach. We hired one, and the search took a long time because that's a spot that you don't want to miss. You got to be really good on the offensive line. So when I posted it on it's called the Football Scoop. That's where all the jobs go.
Okay.
It's in our community. And, I got over 100 resumes, 100 applicants. And so my job then.
Wow.
Is yeah.
I mean, come on.
I posted it and within 30 minutes I had like 32. Just bang. Right out.
Really?
Yep. And so my job then is to go through, and you don't want to miss anybody. So it takes a while to go through all of them. And, I like to go straight maybe to the reference page and see, do I have a connection anywhere with anybody? Is there anybody that I know that somebody knows? Is there any dots there? So I came up out of those 100, I came up with about 12 that I personally knew somebody who knew them. It was just, I knew somebody, they knew that person. I got good recommendations from a lot of other people, but it's a little bit different when you know the person that you personally have worked with before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're going to get from this other
Sure.
person. So ended up going with Coach Bardez, Riley Bardez. He's coming to us from Eastern Washington University.
Okay.
FCS school out there.
Okay.
They've got the red turf. He was got there as an offensive analyst. So did a lot of film work for him, and then got kind of promoted year 2 to be the assistant offensive line coach and the senior analyst. So he was helping out. To my understanding, the offensive coordinator was the O-line coach. So help him kind of roam around and be the OC. Riley was working with the offensive line, and they were number 8 in the country in offense in the FCS level. So he's coached a lot of really good players. I think he helped coach 3 all-conference and 1 all-American offensive lineman. And now these dudes are huge. I saw some pictures of these guys. 6'5", 6'4". I mean, they're big. So, but just schematically, and, you know, when I got on the phone with him and Donadio got on the phone with him, he could regurgitate, you know, really good offensive stuff that he's learned. They've done everything you could basically imagine. And I think he's going to fit in with what we're trying to build culture-wise, community-wise. I mean, he grew up in a town of about 10,000 in Oregon, so smaller town guy, you know, doesn't need the big city life to enjoy himself or anything like that. So he's actually going to be here either this evening, Thursday evening, or Friday night. So he's making the 2-3 day drive.
Okay.
I texted him this morning, or actually this afternoon. He's driving through Wyoming, so he's either going to try to make it, get here by midnight, or stop in Sioux Falls and be here in the morning. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, Wyoming, that's a haul. You can do it in a day. It's a long day.
Yeah, when I texted him, it was about 3:00 when I just was checking in on him. He said he had about 8 hours left.
Yeah.
So either he was going to try to just send it all the way here or pull over somewhere. And I think he's got like a pretty old Jeep, 93 Grand Cherokee, I think.
Okay.
And he's just got his whole life in
Is it? Right. Wow.
But him and Donadio got along well. I'm excited for the offensive line. He's going to meet with the O-line Saturday after our speed training deal, and so
now was he an alignment, or
so
where did he come from?
In high school? He played offensive line,
Okay.
But then he actually went to Western Oregon or Southern Oregon and played rugby.
Okay,
and so it's a physical sport.
Yeah.
And he played for a couple national championships. So he's winning culture and brotherhood and stuff like that, and then. Had a stint back at his high school as the offensive line coach. His head coach at the time over there helped him get into college because he figured out he wanted to be in college, and that's where his passion was, and was at Eastern Washington for 2.5 years. And at the FCS level, I mean, you are all football all the time.
Yeah.
You're in at 6 a.m. You don't leave till 11 p.m. And, as an analyst or an assistant offensive line coach, you're doing more of the dirty work. So
I got to imagine you'll be taking advantage of some of that analysis.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's going to bring a whole new perspective to what – and like I said, our offense is going to be way different.
Yeah.
We're going to look different.
We got Donadio now as the offensive coordinator.
Donadio's the offensive coordinator.
Now you got this guy. So you got like a West Coast offense. Is that what we're going with?
Well, we're still in Iowa here. We still got to be able to run the football. Everybody knows that. But and then Coach Clary's the full-time defensive coordinator. We're not co-coordinators anymore. Okay. I think he's got really good ideas. The players respond to him, and this was probably one of the hardest years he's had to coach, just because at the college level you're not winning any games, and you start questioning yourself a little bit, and so but I have confidence in both of those guys as coordinators to get this thing going, and they've done a good job recruiting. They love the community. I want guys that want to be here, right, and want to help me make this thing really, really good.
Yeah. So then round out the rest of your coaching roster. You've got Eames is over. He's with the quarterbacks now.
He was with running backs last year. He'll graduate in May and be our offensive GA, case and handle, who we've talked to already. They're starting up position meetings, and we're meeting in my office like we always have. Yeah. It was a little different because he's the one running the meeting now. Okay. I got out of there. I want to empower these guys to I'll answer questions and guide people, but he's the defensive backs coach. Yeah. I'll coach the corners. Yeah. But he's he has all the capability to run the meeting and teach these guys.
And then you still, and then
Coach
Clary's
Brummer.
still doing linebackers.
Yep, and then Coach Brummer's still here.
Brummer's doing the defensive line. Yep. And then who else we got here?
Burgett's going to help us
Isaac
out with
Burgett.
the specialists, the kickers, punters.
Yeah. Well, that's a question mark, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Or maybe not. I guess I wasn't paying attention because Isaac was out there, never missed a game. So who takes his spot?
Yeah, so we've got, obviously we're still recruiting to find somebody, but Caden Peterson will take the ones reps at punter, and then we'll do some different things. Connor Parker can punt too. I want him to get really good at field goals,
right?
PATs and kickoffs. So if we can have two separate kickers, one for punt, one for the kicking game, that's ideal. And Peterson's done it before. Just Isaac never got hurt.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It was Peterson never had to, but he's got a freaking boot on him though.
Okay. Good. And any other changes? Any other new guys?
Not as of now.
No.
This is usually, you want guys, you want the same staff, but this will be the first time that everybody on staff they're my guys.
Yeah. Who's the receiver coach?
Donadio.
That's Donadio. Okay. Yeah. I knew that.
And then tight ends will go back and forth from the O line to the receivers.
They get a.
They're the hybrids. Yeah,
the hybrids for sure. Well, that's good. So we've rounded out the coaching staff, which is good. We're heading into spring ball. Yeah. So when is spring ball?
So we've got one more week, and then the week of. Let's look at the calendar here. March 8th through March 16th is spring break. And then we put the pads on March 20th. So we'll have our team meeting on the 17th, a couple install OTA type practices, and then we'll put the pads on the 20th.
So the 20th of March is when you start your padded practice.
Yep.
And you get to do that until when?
We will go all the way, basically 3 weeks. We'll go all the way to spring ball game. Should be, barring the weather, which it should be good, but April 12th will be our spring.
Okay.
It'll be more scrimmage style, a little bit longer than last year because we have more guys on the team this year.
Oh, yeah.
So
spring ball game is April 12th, everybody. You got a time?
Probably looking at 1, just a normal kickoff.
Okay.
Normal kickoff time.
We'll have to get the gridiron together and get some food figured out for that, like we have done in years past.
Yeah. And then the next week is we'll try to do our spring cleanup, which we can start promoting. We'll try to do our spring cleanup that next Saturday on April 19th.
Well, now, that is Easter weekend. You know that?
Well, but then it's finals after that. We're just crushed for time here.
Oh, boy.
You don't have to be home for us to pick up sticks.
You're right.
We can clean gutters and pick up.
Hey, there's no better time to have your yard look good than to have these guys come by and pick up sticks and clean up your yard before the family comes over for Easter.
We should, we'll have estimate around 10 different teams of 8. So we can hit multiple spots in town.
Yeah.
So,
and it's free will donation, right? Yeah. And so you come out and that's a great service project. I think Waldorf requires you to do a service project, don't they? But this is a good opportunity a little bit of a fundraiser, opportunity for the boys to get out into the community, get some of that energy burnt off working for a day. I know sometimes they have a really easy thing, and sometimes
they have a not so easy.
That's right. Help me clear out this garage.
Yeah, but I think at the same time, it's you're trying to plant your roots where you're at,
right?
And I learned this from Coach Littrell. First year I was here, we did this, and there was still snow on the ground, I think, but it didn't matter. We were just, it's free will donation, but at the end of the day, we're just thankful that we're, our community is accepting us and supporting us, even in the bad times, right? I mean, I still got humans on the team that
absolutely
that need to be, they need to feel the love too. So,
well, folks, there's no better. I mean, think about that now. So I'm glad we brought that up here. That's a month away, actually a little bit further. It's more than a month away. This is still February, but very
there,
month and a half, and we're into Easter. So the Easter weekend, that's Saturday.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity to contact just contact you directly.
Yeah,
right,
and we'll
Coach?
put
You
it. We'll
figure it
start,
out.
Yeah, you can look at my email.
Yeah.
And we'll start putting the list together. And we're usually out there from 8 a.m. to about noon.
Yeah.
And
Tyler.Chapa at Waldorf.edu.
Dang right.
The whole world knows it.
Yeah. But it's a good deal. It's good for the coaches, and the chain gang always kind of helps us out. Arnie will supply some gloves for us.
There you go.
Them, but
I still have a whole bunch of gloves from when I had about 15 of those guys come help me pour a concrete driveway.
I remember
that was a separate deal. That wasn't the cleanup. That was I don't remember when we did that. I think we did it late in the fall. Actually, I don't remember when we did it, but it seemed like
I've been a part of some nasty when I was a GA.
Yeah. I got lots of gloves.
There was a house that was I think they were, I don't know what they were trying to do with it. Maybe tear it down or something.
Yeah.
So we were trying to get everything out of it. Oh boy, there was dead rats in there.
Oh.
And the players are looking at me, and I said, "Hey boys, we get to do this."
Yeah, we get to. That's right.
To do this, so.
Yeah, it's not just raking leaves, although that can be a part of it, and picking up sticks, all kinds of things. If you need, say, well, man, I would love to do this, but I need a lot of guys. I need a lot of people to help me.
90 guys, over 90 guys.
That's right. What you do is you get the Waldorf football players to do whatever this large labor project is that you have, but tell your family that's coming home for Easter that they're going to do that, and then when they get there, surprise, it's already done. It was just happy Easter.
As the football team, and maybe stand out there and talk to them, get to know them a little bit.
That's right.
That's really what I want. Once they put the helmet on, you can't see their face anymore.
That's right.
So
there's
been some nice older ladies that'll stand on the porch and tell stories while guys are picking up sticks and raking leaves.
That's right.
They love that stuff.
That's good. Yeah, well, start thinking about that now because there's no better time than the present. We'll get that information out there, too, so now that we know the date. So that'll be April 19th. The weekend before that, the 12th, that Saturday is going to be the spring ball game. We'll do that at 1 o'clock at Bullstorf Field, and you're going to run it like a scrimmage, you said?
It'll be more inter-squad scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do different situations. We'll do all the special teams, but 2-minute drill, backed up, red zone, goal line. We'll do a couple live drives.
Yeah.
Have Coach Donadio versus Coach Clary, and that'll be it'll be good for those guys to compete and treat it as much as a game as we possibly can.
Good. Well, and the public is always welcome to attend that. That's fun to come out.
Free.
Doesn't cost.
Yep.
Doesn't cost nothing.
No, it's like a practice.
Yeah. And you know what, Coach? I'll tell you something about that timeline there. And it very well could be that we might have those trees planted.
Yes.
So I've been working with a couple of different companies, and we've got our Bentley Ridge Tree Farm is out of the nursery's out of Grimes, Iowa.
Okay.
And so they're going to deliver 40 trees to us. Adam, our treasurer, has got the bill. It's gonna we're working through Waldorf University with that so that we can stay up on our tax exemptions and all of that good stuff, and making sure that they get the water bags from A.M. Leonard, and that's all important. But the things it looks like they're gonna. I mean, we could be planting that third week of March.
That would be huge.
So it depends on what the weather is, but it's actually better to plant the trees before they sprout out. It makes it way easier for them to transport. I mean, if you get them, like people buy their trees when the weather turns nice and it's like Mother's Day, and then they got to carry this tree up back of their truck and all the leaves blow off. You got 40 trees that are kind of expensive where you don't want that. So they're already no leaves on them.
And it's like 51 degrees today. 52 degrees today.
Well, we don't know if it'll be that way at the end of March. If it comes in like a lamb, they say it goes out like a lion. So we could.
Are we done with the snow yet?
No way. No. I mean, I hope so, but I don't. I mean, I cannot make that promise here in Iowa. There's no way. But we'll see what happens.
We've been able to be on the field, so we had our Monday morning.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we had Monday morning boot camp in the gym. There was still not really much snow, but I still had to reserve it, so we were able to still be in the gym. And then afterwards, I said, "Hey guys, be prepared to be on the field on Wednesday," and you wouldn't believe these guys were cheering and they want to be outside.
Yeah.
So that's real. That's
good weather. It feels like spring, and that's just it's great. It's been great for that.
Getting closer to golf too.
Yeah, that's right. So, but in order for you to be able to golf, you're going to have to have your recruiting finished.
That's a really good segue.
So it was great.
You're good at
How do you?
That was awesome.
Listen, it's not my first rodeo, right? It's my third. No,
So where are you at? I mean, last we talked a little bit. Well, when you were on last, we went through your new recruits. So we don't have to go all through all those. I think you had 19 that you had. I think it was 19, wasn't it? We talked about.
Brought in, yep. And now that number's up to 31.
Okay, yeah.
So we've got, here in the last couple of weeks, guys have still done some work. So far, we've brought in, since signing day, we've brought in 3 more junior college guys.
Okay.
One is a receiver. He's not a junior college. He was at junior college, and then he was at a Division II in California, and now he's coming here in the fall. And then we just signed a pretty big defensive lineman that we're all really excited about.
Oh, okay.
From Glendale Community College.
And so when you say really big defensive lineman, like what do you mean? Like he's a big deal or he's a big boy?
Both. I'll tell you more about it.
I can't. So we don't want everybody else listening to all that.
I mean, he's going to be pretty.
We got a good weapon, is what you're saying. He can't just be.
He's going to be pretty good.
Can't be pulling the tarp off of this weapon that we just acquired.
No. Weapon of mass destruction.
That's nice. WMD coming in.
He'll be happy. So obviously you got to get bigger up front on both sides. And right now, I mean, even with the guys that we got, love these guys. And Parker Hayden was our lightest offensive lineman. Had some. Was sick, and he's dealing with a torn ACL, so not 100% going through it. So not his fault. He lost a little bit of weight. He was at like 249, maybe. He's almost up all the way back up to 265.
Is that right?
And that's just with him. He can't do lower body, but that kid is in there doing upper body.
Yeah,
and
wow.
Coach Eames during boot camp has those guys doing core, which is awesome. Love Coach Eames for that, but that's just a testament to the buy-in. Coaching staff was up in Minneapolis for a clinic. A lot of other coaches talking about different things, always trying to learn. And our guys had an optional Saturday morning workout, and some of our rack leaders got back to us Saturday afternoon and said there was pretty close to 84 guys there.
Really?
Just player-led. And last spring we were doing good with culture stuff. This would not have happened.
Yeah.
So I think the leadership and the buy-in, and you got to constantly harp it. We're having good days, but you can never feel complacent.
Right.
Keep stacking your good days on top of each other, because you can never work too hard.
Right.
You can feel good about yourself, and then you get to week 0 and you're playing Northwestern. You don't want to be like, oh God, here we go again. Right.
Yeah.
You want to be like, all right, I feel like we can compete with these guys. And
that's right.
We're on the right track, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So you picked up, you said we talked about 19, you're at 31, so you got 12 that you picked up. You mentioned 3. So what are the other, you got some other ideas for the other 8 or 9? That
we got a couple more Iowa kids that were still there. We got a corner out of Cedar Rapids, Kennedy.
Okay.
He reminds me of Jack a little bit. As a freshman, fast, can play the ball. In that league over there, they throw it a little bit more than 4 Cities League. They got a bunch of triple option under center teams that Jack had to face, but there's going to be a role for him for sure. Whether he's in the cornerback rotation or special teams. We got a couple. Wyatt Manning we talked about. Alex Segura is going to be a tight end from Texas. He's reminds me a little bit of Seth Chavez when he first got here. Big kid, can do multiple things. And then just a couple out-of-state guys. Caleb Taylor, we're really excited about him. He's a 6'4", 190-pound receiver from California. Coach Eames has done a great job. Coach Donatio's done a great job out there. And then we still got a couple guys on the hook still. You know? I mean, we're at 31 total. I want to say we're going to be close to 50 probably. Way ahead of where we've ever been this time. And retention's a huge deal.
Oh, for sure.
With that.
Yeah, and then I mean that's important too for recruiting. Like you have it was a tough season last year, but you say you can tell your recruits like the guys are all staying. I mean you're not going anywhere.
Everybody knew it. Yeah, everybody knew it was gonna be hard. I don't think anybody knew that it was gonna be that tough. Which sometimes in life is a good thing. You get punched in the mouth. How do you get back up? But I was talking to Nico Page today, and he's all our guys are sick right now. There's some flu stuff going around, and This is the first time ever we've worked out consistently 6 days a week. The only day these guys get off is Sunday, and they're feeling it.
Yeah.
It's almost been 8 weeks, and these guys are, even some of our good, veterans are, so I gave them Friday morning off.
Sure.
And in the past, it would have been like, oh, I'm going to regret it. Somebody's going to do something stupid. And
yeah.
I don't feel like that anymore.
No, but and you can tell the difference though too. Yeah. I mean, they're throwing up more weight.
Yes.
And they're getting bigger. I mean,
this is one of the first times where Coach Brock Wilson, our strength guy, called me this morning, and this was like the only time he ever recommended me canceling anything, because he started off, hey, these guys are working their tails off.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see they're slowing down a little bit, right? So let's give them, because they lifted this morning, Thursday morning at 5:30,
mm-hmm.
and so gave them Thursday afternoon off. They'll have Friday morning off. We'll get back in the weight room Friday afternoon,
okay,
and then Saturday. So, they've earned it.
Yeah,
I love them, but I'm always gonna push them.
Yeah,
I'm always gonna push them.
Well, you gotta, size doesn't trump skill.
Correct.
And so if you don't have all the size, you need to improve in every possible way.
Yep.
Physicality and technique, and so all of that stuff is coming. Whoever works hardest in the off season is going to see the greatest improvement, and that's certainly something that you're working towards.
Yeah, in our secondary, just guys that I know, right? Like Jack is almost 200 pounds.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I know.
Christian Giroux, almost 200 pounds. Carson Lindsay is 201 pounds.
Hey.
Jeremiah Hurd, we're moving him to corner. He's 188 pounds. Even some of our light guys, Ishmael Watkins, super athletic kid, was 155 pounds when this started.
Yeah.
He's 171 pounds right now.
There you go.
I mean, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
And that's just, when you're home, you're not thinking about eating 3 times a day.
Right.
Because you're not constantly working out, probably.
Right.
So
is that part of this thing too? I mean, you're hitting the weight room really hard. I mean, everybody is at this time of year in all of the programs. But I mean, if it becomes habitual, that's part of the plan. Because come the end of April, beginning of May, they're gone and away.
On their own, yeah.
And of course, we do have a good number that are hanging around, and you're bringing everybody back at the beginning of July, on the 7th or 8th or something.
We're
that.
Looking at the
number.
9th. Looking at the
9th.
Yeah.
So so they get a couple months there.
Yeah.
And they go home, eat potato chips, watch TV.
The goal is for them to start feeling bad. Like, oh, I've sat on the couch for too long here,
right?
And then teammates holding each other accountable. Like, I know this off season or before the semester started, the linebackers had a group chat, and they were constantly in there. I know Coach Brummer, encouraged the D line to send videos in the group chat of them doing just a little bit of it was just body weight stuff.
Yeah, right.
Holding each other accountable, and so now. Yeah, you want to make it a habit, and you want to feel like on a Saturday, it's easy to eat Cheetos on the couch and watch ESPN all day, and at some point be like, man, I got to get my butt up and work out.
Right.
And it's always hard to replicate a football workout on your own.
Yeah.
But doing something, is the goal.
Yeah.
And then we try to get guys back in July and ramp it back up.
Yeah. Well, it's, I just know that my oldest boy, Tate, I made fun of him because I didn't understand the amount of work that really went into being a college athlete, and I didn't, and he was always, 2 hours in the gym every day. And I'm like, it's summer, why don't you go get a job? And he'd have a job, but he was really, sincere about, that's what he cared about.
Yeah.
And
you don't want to be the reason why.
No.
You don't want to be the weak link when you get back from break.
Right.
Because everybody can tell.
Yeah.
Everybody. You can feel like you worked out. And I tell the guys now, we're still pushing guys to eat and gain weight. And some of the guys, well, I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but you're not trying hard enough. Like,
are you?
When you're full, don't just put your plate up and leave. Sit there for about 10, 15 minutes and then get another plate.
It's like the exact opposite of what I need to be doing.
Same here.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
It was like,
we're telling those guys
if I could get down to 200 pounds, that'd be looking good. Yeah, get down to 200
Isn't that
pounds.
funny how that works?
Well, and then you would think that people are taking pictures of themselves in the gym all the time, so they should be totally comfortable taking their glamour shots in the gym so that their buddies know that they're working out.
Yep.
You know, and I even did that in the National Guard. I'd have, you know, like, because you're not in, it's not like the Army where you're, you know, 24/7, 365. Right. You're, you know, one weekend a month. We still have all these physical goals and you know, standards. So I would have my soldiers, you know, you have to, you know, send me your picture that you ran, you know, show me how many miles you ran today or whatever it had to be.
Well, all that's just part of being a team.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing. That's not, you know, you're not playing a game on Saturday, but
no,
you're still, you got to work with each other. You're depending on one another. It's all encompassing. And, you know, I love bragging on the guys, but like Andrew Daniels, freshman offensive lineman, you know, was 258 pounds at the end of the fall. He's 272 pounds and his shirts don't fit him anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's awesome. And I'm sure it's like, you know, for him, it's a little frustrating and, you know, you're putting it on, it's tight. It's not really covering where it used to cover anymore. But for me, every time I see him, I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, Andrew, you know, because it's when you tell guys to gain weight, you know, especially some smaller defensive linemen, you know, James Jenkins, for example, he's, you know, 230 pounds, 225 pounds when he played with us. And now he's almost 250.
Oh, wow.
He's just like, I have to keep going. And we're like, yeah, buddy, you get to keep going. Come on.
Wow.
You know, because we don't want anybody really, you know, lighter than that 260 area. It's just, you're going to be too easy to move. You know?
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I know that like Jack he's home a little while ago.
He's huge.
And he's like rummaging through and he's like, I need large t-shirts for practices and workouts. And I'm like, well, I mean, feel free to go up and raid my closet, buddy. Cause I mean, they're all up there, you know, I got, you know, so
that's good stuff.
You know, Dad's wardrobe of 4 boys in sports and every sport for the last how many years. There's a lot of large
all the
t-shirts up there. Yeah. So yeah, go right ahead. That's good. And that's across the board. That's what you want to see. And
I think one thing that's really helped is we have incorporated Wednesday and Saturday speed and agility training. So they are putting on all this weight, but they've constantly been running and
they got to move with it.
And so the first time of them moving, like in years past, it won't be the first day of spring ball.
Right.
You know, or it wasn't the first day of boot camp. We started doing this in January.
Yeah, the speed and agility stuff, they got to do that all the way, you know, all through the summer.
If you're not used to being 260 pounds, you're going to hurt your hamstring or your knees are going to start hurting. So just
stay flexible, stretch out.
Getting your body acclimated is really huge.
You can load that wheelbarrow, but you still got to be able to move it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tools can be in there,
right?
But it don't matter.
Yeah.
But everyone's bought into that, though.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, like we gave them the blueprint. I said, guys, you know, I can't do this for you, but I can promise you I know how to get it done. I need you to do it. And we've got such good leadership. You know, you got your Keegan Handles, your Nico Page, George Rivera, guys that have been here when we had really good teams, but maybe not a great culture all the way around. And then they were here last year when we felt like we had really good people, just not as good talent wise as we needed to be. And so everybody's kind of taken ownership of that.
Great. Well, so all right, we talked about spring ball, talked about recruiting, and then it sounds like the lifting is going really well, and the weight gains and all of that. So that's all good news, and then plus your coach's stuff. You know, your new hire for the offensive line coach. That's exciting, and his name was Riley
Bardez.
Bardez. Okay, Riley Bardez on his way. Driving through,
should be through Wyoming by now.
Yeah,
but
I always get a kick out of how the coaches like, you know, they can
back up and move.
They do. They just like, I gotta go when they're out. You know.
Well, and he was talking with Coach Donadio, and I think Riley was staying at his brother's house or something, and he just had this little whiteboard that he didn't have his computer because it was already packed up. So he was like, I'm not going to go dig it out. He had this little whiteboard. He was drawing up some plays on there and just sending pictures back and forth to Donadio. And he was like, man, this is awesome.
Okay.
You know, so,
what else do you need?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's great.
I'm pretty sure he's got his mattress strapped to the top of his car right now. But
maybe he's a real man like Jerry Seinfeld would say, Superman would just hold it on with his arm. Yeah. Just stick his arm out the window and hold it on there.
Probably not. Maybe in New York City, but not on the highways.
Not on the highway. On a Jeep with a Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have to talk about the season because you did mention that Northwestern is going to be that week 0. So let's it's not on the website yet, but the schedule is official and we can talk about it. So let's go into that. The first game is an away game. We're heading out to Orange City to go meet the Red Raiders.
Yeah,
out of the chute, week 0. That's
week 0, August 30th.
August 30th. Yeah,
on that Saturday, we'll play them 6:00 at nighttime at their place, and should be the healthiest that we're going to be all season, obviously. So it'll be, some people I've talked to are kind of like, man, that sucks. And I'm like, well, our guys will be healthy that
You're going to play them anyway.
Yeah. Might as well be week 0. Let's go.
Play Northwestern right out of the way.
Let's
get out of the way.
See where we're at.
Yeah.
And then we've got Mount Marty right after that.
Go beat Northwestern right away. People are like, what
shock the nation.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
And
I
then
want them to be like, how'd they, and I told the staff and I challenge them all the time with recruiting, right? You need really, really good players, but you got to make sure those players are a good fit too.
Yeah.
And so that's, I want everybody to be like, man, at least these guys knew they needed to bring some guys in and they did it,
So that actually is Labor Day weekend. Is the first game is the opener is the 0 week on August 30th, and then Monday the 1st of September is Labor Day. Then you roll into the 6th. That Saturday, your second game. That's the home game.
Mount Marty.
First time. So we'll have. We talked to Coach Micheletti last week, and we'll be seeing him at Bullstorf Field on the 6th of September. And that's going to be back to regular schedule, so that's a community night.
We're going at 5 p.m.
It's a little earlier than we've done in the past, but that's okay.
We've done 6 or 7, and everything is just negotiating, right?
Yeah.
I think 5 p.m. Is going to work better for coach and travel and stuff like that. And at least they're letting us push it back a little bit, And so thankful for them, and that's what I really noticed about the GPAC is really it's just all communication. You build good relationships. Some things will work, some things won't, but just talk it out.
So we'll play Mount Marty on the 6th, and like we said last week, they were 6-5 on the season this year.
They had a good team.
5-5 in the GPAC. So they came through, had a 500 win, but the year they went 0-10 their first year. He was talking about that.
Yeah, it's hard.
And then 3-3 or something like that or whatever. So, so then the 13th, the next weekend, we are on the road and we head out to
Fremont,
Nebraska with Midland University.
Yep, 1 p.m. I think the rest of these will be at 1 p.m.
Yeah,
unless something changes.
That's what that would make sense. So we're gonna go see the Warriors. The other Warriors in the conference.
The Orange Warriors.
The Orange Warriors, going to see them on the 13th of September. The 20th of September is Hastings, and that'll be in Hastings. That's the drive. I think that's a 6.5.
Pretty close to 7,
7-hour drive to get to Hastings.
That's our furthest travel,
Yeah, and that's a 1:00 game, though.
Yeah.
So
stay overnight.
Huh?
We'll stay overnight.
You guys will.
Yeah. Well, you can stay too.
I mean, we could.
Just take Friday off. Well,
but
Friday's off for you anyway.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we'll have a high school football game.
Oh yeah,
that night.
Forgot.
It worked out pretty well when we went to
Doan,
wherever Mount Marty is. I just already forgot Yankton. We went to Yankton, and that night before we played football in. I think we played Storm or not Spirit Lake.
Oh,
so we were already in that neighborhood anyway, so it wasn't so bad. So Hastings, we'll go down and get a chance to see Coach Franzen and have some Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Check out the
Kool-Aid
Sasquatch Museum. Call ahead.
Amen.
From what I understand, and that'll be at 1:00. But these 1:00 games, I mean, we're done by 4:30 at the latest.
Yeah.
And so even then, folks, if they wanted to turn around and drive home, they'd still be home by 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Not 2, 3 in the morning.
That's right.
That's a huge difference too.
Yeah. Pretty straight drive too. I mean, from to get out of Nebraska there and
Flatlands.
Yep. Can't go wrong. Now, the next weekend on the 27th, we're home again, and then that's bringing Concordia up here.
Yep.
So we'll see them, and that's again at 1 o'clock. These are all 1 o'clock games. Is that right?
I'm as of right now, yeah.
Yeah. So Concordia will come up our way, and they were a pretty stout team last year. I didn't check out their
8 wins.
They had 8,
and they, that was one of the topics of we don't have like power rankings in our league, like in the GPAC. There's no 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all just based off of wins and losses. So, technically there was an argument they could have been the second team in the playoffs. And it's tough because Dordt could have had an argument for being in the playoffs too. And
right.
So when you got 4 teams that are fighting for that 1 and 2 spot, it's a pretty competitive league there.
Well, we'll deal with Concordia when they get here, but then we'll have to hit the road again.
We got the gauntlet here coming up, huh?
Yeah, we go in and visit Morningside.
Yeah.
Head out there to Sioux City, and for a 1 o'clock game with Morningside, and that'll be October 4th on. And I'm not sure what stadium that's. Well, it's in there. It's there on. I don't know what that's called. Is it Morningside?
I think they share it with the city.
Is it Elwood Olson?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway, that's October 4th. So, we go from Concordia. These are all good teams. There's none that you look at that you're like, you got them. Morningside, we'll go out there on the 4th, and then a week later we'll be at home for homecoming. Waldorf homecoming is the homecoming game is on the 11th. I think Waldorf homecoming technically starts on the 10th, goes through the 12th, so Friday through Sunday, and that'll be a 1 o'clock game, and that's always a busy game. But I remember last season. It was, we had homecoming game. There was a volleyball game happening in the field house. There was a soccer game, men's and women's, immediately after our game.
It was a long day.
They had dedications of the ballroom and different things like that. There's just things happen. It's a very busy weekend. Lots of people come back, and if it ends in 10 or if it ends in 0 or 5, then in your class, if you graduated with a 0 or a 5. In your year, then it's a reunion year for you at Waldorf.
So it should be packed.
So I'm one of those years.
Oh.
30 years.
Oh, man.
Oh, Lord.
Just keep that in the bunker.
Yeah. Well, it's too late now. So that'll be exciting. We'll be taking on Dordt. Speaking of Dordt, that's who will be playing for homecoming. And they're a tough team.
Yeah.
So it'll be
well coached and have good chemistry on that staff.
Yeah. Like to talk to their coach.
He's a good dude.
Yeah,
Coach Penner's a really good dude.
He should get on the
Oh man, I
show.
should have I saw their defensive coordinator this weekend.
Get him on. Get him on. So, hey, they sent you an email.
We'll see.
We're serious about this.
It probably came through as spam.
But you get that homecoming weekend, you take on Dordt, and then you get a break. So we actually have 2 buys the way it looks now. Unless we're going to fill one of those in. Just going to stay. 10 is enough.
For now.
10 is enough.
Let's
do what we do. That's right. 11 we don't need. 10 we've got. So we'll have a bye week on the 18th of October, which is nice. You'll have a little bit of a breather there before you come back in on the 25th. And then again, now you're traveling and you're heading out to Mitchell, South Dakota to go see Dakota Wesleyan. And again, there's a few teams that I feel like we're very much on par with, and so we're gonna have a fun season seeing how that all shakes out. And then obviously you have your top tier teams that are just always a little more challenging. Dakota Wesleyan is one of those. I think it'd be a pretty good matchup. It was when we played them before, so it seems like something that I look forward to meeting them again. It'll be fun to go visit the Corn Palace.
And I'm excited too because when you're always just looking at your guys and looking at your team, you're like, man, my guys are getting better. The other teams are getting better too.
Yeah, they're not sitting around thinking we got this.
Yeah, they're not satisfied.
No,
even going deep into the playoffs, not satisfied.
That's right. Do you think that there's coaches right now that are like, telling their teams, Waldorf's coming for you. They're coming for you, and they're like, that's
maybe not using us as that example.
It could be.
Maybe. I would hope that they know that we're not, that we know
Yeah.
we have some
We're
work to
working.
do.
Yeah.
And we're doing it.
That's right.
And so, but everybody's working.
Did you send an email out to your football players in the last week and just say, just tell me 5 things that you did this week, or you might be fired?
No. No, I didn't.
You do that to your team? Just send them out like, tell me 5 things you did to make yourself a better football player in the last week.
I send a poll out on
That's
that?
right.
See how many
Just
people want me to do that?
See how many do that. And it's like, look, you could be fired.
Yeah, I could.
You get another break on. So it's kind of weird, isn't it, that you get a the 18th you get a bye. We go on the road. We go on the road on the 25th, and then we get another bye right after that. So they get a bye.
Yeah.
And that's November 1st. So there's a whole that's a second bye week and final bye week. But then comes back in, and on the 8th of November we bring Briarcliff to Forest City, since we went out there last year.
Yep.
So they'll come here to Bullstorf Field for a 1:00 game, and look forward to seeing them as well. That was a real close one.
That was the closest one we had.
Yeah. And so we like to have them come out here. And then on the 15th, Coach, Doan.
Finishing up with Doan.
They're coming to town.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's a tough schedule, and I just don't think that, on those 2 bye weeks, we need to get any out of conference guys. We'll be 7 games in by our first bye week.
Right. What's the point?
Yeah. We're going to be beat up just like everybody else.
Non-conference games are good, I think, for a 0 week, or depends on how your schedule, shapes up with the byes. But yeah.
Well, I think too, like if you're in like the NSAA, right? We were playing teams twice.
Yeah.
It was always good to play, like a Briarcliff, somebody that you knew you were probably pretty similar to.
Yeah.
In a really good league. So if you won, it might look good on your resume. My resume, however many games we pull out next year, it'll look good.
Yeah. That's right.
They're not going to be like,
right. Mm-hmm.
Why don't you play Grandview?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we still got a lot of
we got time.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's all about, building a great program. It takes time. It's going to be a fun season. I counted, so that's 10. We got 5 games at home, 5 away. Nice little split there. So it'll be doing the same thing with the Gridiron Club again. We'll be set up there with the tailgaters. It'll come sooner than anybody knows it. And from what I understand, these trees are going to come in whenever they come in, third week of March or whatever. But they're like 10, 12 feet tall or taller. So they're pretty good. They'll be you'll notice them.
That'll be a team bonding activity.
Yeah. Well, that's going to require, look, it's good that they're doing a lot of lifting, but I think we're going to be using some skid loaders and
they
some
can
forks.
learn.
Yeah. Those are some heavy trees. But digging some holes. And don't worry. We'll be having
work to be done.
There's definitely work to do. They'll be out there. You got to fill those holes back in.
We tell them, hey, life ain't all about football, man.
No.
Let's make the community better.
That's right. It's going to look great. And then, of course, we got Ragbri coming to town.
Yeah.
So that's something,
first
too.
For me.
They've come through Forest City. I don't know how many times in 52 years, but this was the last time they came through was like 2013 or 14 or something like that. So it's been a spell since they've been here. And I'm in charge of the committee that establishes camping and all of that good stuff.
How many people are coming through?
Camping and showers and
20,000
sanitation.
Oh, you're going to be busy.
Yeah, well, that's going to be there's an opportunity there for the guys. So that's going to be the 22nd of July, which is a Tuesday. Great opportunity. Yeah. There's going to be, I know for a fact, because I got them lined up, a couple hundred barrels that are used for garbage, and just got to keep those things, emptied.
Not overflowing.
Not overflowing, just keep them clean. Yeah. I know we've got a good concert lined up. It's going to be a lot of fun there. So there's going to be just all kinds of opportunities for the football players to do some things volunteer-wise, and then probably some other things that Waldorf has the opportunity to probably do some fundraising, like a lot of things.
Capitalize on this. Yeah, absolutely.
Places like showers, might need to use those showers in the D-Jack and the
put a little timer on
house. Yeah, that's right.
$5 a shower.
So that'll be a fun time. It'll be something for those football players to see if they've never seen that.
Yeah.
It is 20. The official numbers I can't say right now. They always kind of keep that under wraps, but it's
couple thousand.
It's thousands. Yeah,
thousands.
Plural. Yeah. And you just plan on 20,000 people. Yeah.
Well, that'll be good for our guys to see, like, hey, we're in the middle, we're a small town.
Yeah.
But things happen.
The hospitality is going to be something. And there's going to be campers around not on the football field, either one, but there'll be campers, tents all over Forest City.
That's gonna be awesome.
It is something different. Opportunities for. I tell you what, one thing, Coach, we could. If the guys were responsible, they could escort people in the 4-seater golf carts. Give them a little.
I've got a 4-seater golf cart.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
My parents gifted it to me. They said, "Hey, you didn't win a game, but here you go."
Is that right?
Yeah.
So those type of things, and I think that we're going to rent some
I don't know if my mom gave it to me. I'm acting like she did because she hasn't taken it back yet.
She's like, wait. She's listening to this going,
I forgot about
I didn't give you that.
Yeah.
But that could be something. Little taxi cab drivers to get them from where they're camping to the
point A to point B. Yeah,
to the concert. There's going to be a big concert.
We'll have to hand select those drivers. I'll help in that process.
Yeah, that's right. Because we'll rent some of those.
Yeah,
So lots of good things this summer, and heading into a good spring ball. Once again, the spring ball date is the
second Saturday in April.
So that's the 12th. The 12th of April, and think about your needs for many hands on deck. Cleaning your yard, cleaning your garage, cleaning out your attic. You got some project, something like that, get in touch with Coach Chapa, tyler.chapa@waldorf.edu. And that'll be the 19th.
19th, right.
Of April, which is
Easter
weekend.
They got finals week, and then they're done after that.
Then they're gone.
It's quick, man.
Yeah,
Holy smokes.
It is something. And if you really want to help plant trees, that'll be, keep following us on that. There'll be more information to come. But we do have spring break coming up here in a short period, let's say 2 weeks. Not even. So when this comes out, a week from today, yeah, they'll be zooming out of here. Have you heard any other plans?
I don't want to, but I know we've got boot camp that Friday. So they need to be there for that. They have class, and we still have weights in the afternoon, so nobody's getting out of here early.
Okay.
Just make plans for Saturday, and then you got to be back the following Sunday, because then we've got our team meeting at 6:30 in the morning.
All right.
Just to make sure everyone's there.
Fabulous plans for spring break for the Waldorf Warriors, wherever it is that they may be going and staying out of trouble,
Fine young men is what they are.
That's right. Very good. Well, Coach, I know you got some other things to take care of. You got some guys that you need to talk to, and that's why we had to schedule you instead of Andy, and couldn't.
Our real talent couldn't join us today.
I don't know what he's doing, but he said he couldn't be here, so that's just fine. All right. Well, that's probably going to do it, unless you got something else you want to ramble on about. We've done not quite an hour. It's a little shorter without Andy here.
Yeah, we started a little earlier though.
Yeah.
I think we'll be all right.
All right, very good. Well, can't wait to see the spring ball game, and I'm looking forward to finding out which one of these coaches are going to be on next as we continue our series with the coaches around the GPAC, and maybe reach out to a couple and say, "Hey, listen, these guys had a good time." Yeah. So this should be a fun one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for Coach Tyler Chapa and me, you're gonna have to help me out with this.
I got you. I'm ready.
All right, you ready for this? I don't know. I can't remember how Andy always says it. He goes, "Forever and always,
go
Warriors." Hey. I blew it. You said it.
That's all good. The bloopers will be fun.
You can join the Waldorf Gridiron Club and be part of the best small college football experience in America.
Just visit our website and pick your membership level. Find us and everything Waldorf Gridiron Club related, including professional photos, at waldorfgridironclub.org.
You can also click on the Support the Show link in the show notes to donate.
And you can even use the United States Postal Service by sending your check to the Waldorf Gridiron Club, P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa, 50436.
It's tax exempt, hassle-free, and has a level for every budget.
That's right. Anyone can join, even our rivals.
Show your colors. Join the Gridiron Club today.
Get it?
Got it. Fantastic.
The Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast is hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson. Produced by Sunnyside Farm Studios in beautiful rural Forest City, Iowa. Platformed by Buzzsprout and music by Soundstrike. The Waldorf Gridiron Club is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to the student athletes of the Waldorf University football program. Our mission is to assist the program in maintaining the best small college football experience in America.